Round at the speed of sound. I don't know why, but the Sonic Adventure 2 music just fucking jumped into my head right now. Say what you will about those games, the soundtrack was fucking slapping. Or like it had some really good butt rock jams in there. What do I do with my phone? Flood that thing. Doing all the retweets. Social media can be exhausting sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean literally every time. So many retweets. I mean, I did it to myself, I guess. It doesn't help that I'm running like 4 accounts. And killing Elliot in the process. That would be bad. Yeah, we got 5 minutes. Okay, it's a smattering of them anyway. Yeah, have any of you gotten any feedback about the show yet? Okay. That gave me the warm fuzzies inside. Oh, there's my magic item. Hope you brought backup characters, because this shit's about to get real. Okay, actually, I wanted to talk to you about that. Maybe not right at this moment, but so I have this, which is a guide for making animal companions out of D&D creatures. Generally, it's for like weirder animals. I don't know if you've seen any of the baby bestiary stuff. Yeah. Basically, this is like a comprehensive rule guide for making animal companions, which is like better than just like, and mastiff stats. It'll give them like unique properties and stuff. I can send you the PDF if you want to make Pork Chop a more like active player in all of this. If not, that's perfectly fine, because that is just like one more thing to worry about. So, okay. Because I don't think he's quite like an awakened animal yet, so I don't want to give him like a full-on character class yet. Look, we're doing some fairy tale nonsense. If we don't do talking animals at some point, then what are we even doing here? Well, strap in for today then. That's what I was looking up. I mean, yeah. Okay. I still got 2 minutes. Starting soon. Oh man, I haven't been muted this. And we are live. Excellent. Hello, and welcome to Dreadwood Fairytales here on the Greyhawk channel. I am, of course, your humble dungeon master, Mike Gorgoni, and joining me, as always, are my amazing adventurers. Hello, adventurers. How you doing?
Howdy.
Pretty good. I am Elliot, and I'm playing Princess Merrimack Glass, privateer extraordinaire.
I am Paige. I'm playing Magnavancia, our paladin.
I've dubbed the term Murder Mom, because I think that's pretty much where Magna's fitting in.
I love that.
Murder's maybe a little extreme, but, you know.
It's still early. I'm Becca, and I am playing a gnome druid named Lulu Perdamica.
Indeed. And for those of us just joining, last time on Dreadwood Fairytales, our three adventurers had set a course into this large and dangerous wood on the southern border of the Kingdom of Keoland in the world of Greyhawk, or Oerth as it's called. There they were hoping to rescue / re-kidnap? We're still a little fuzzy on the details there.
We're going to play it by ear.
Playing it by ear. Rescue / re-kidnap a third prince of Keoland, one Prince Hamilton, who has been kidnapped by the dread night hag Granny Night Shade. I can remember all the characters I've made up, and even the ones that I didn't. Through their adventures here in the most shallow portions of the Dreadwood, they have come across many a strange and weird sight, starting with a gang of werefolk led by a green hag. They then tramped through a large stretch of silent, eerie wood, haunted by a weird voice on the wind, which bounced back and forth between mocking them and giving them aggravating hints at what is to come. Upon their second day in the Dreadwood, they came across a river that was definitely safe to cross, despite the dire warnings of some birds nearby who told you, just don't, and yet, here we are.
We gotta.
Yeah.
Upon crossing that bridge, you stumbled into the territory of the great troll Rumble-Tusk, having disturbed his 1,000-year slumber. No, he was asleep for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Taking a cat nap.
Troll nap.
A cot nap?
Maybe. We'll get there. Having leapt up onto the bridge, you combated the troll, soundly defeating it. Seemingly nothing here on the Dreadwood can stop your forward momentum, as, monsters seem to melt away between the three of you. Along your path, you've also discovered some strange pseudo-magical items along the way. Including the spell squirmers that were being used by the green hag Nana Rotgum, and the strange wound mollusks that were being used by Rumble-Tusk the Troll.
Yes.
These weird biomantic items seem to have been made by the same source, but you still have not discovered what precisely that is. All you know is that they are expendable, weird, magical vermin used to accomplish different things, such as cast spells or heal wounds. Very gross, very weird.
I love them.
All of these strange sights over the last couple of days. I mean, you live in a magical world. Strange is a matter of relativity, I suppose. But it's been off-kilter, to say the least. Yeah. Most of you are...
The moon saved me from drowning, but, this isn't the ocean, so who knows?
Nothing quite prepared you for the arresting sight you find yourselves in front of now. In another context, this would not be strange at all, but here, still on your second day of travel through the Dreadwood, it is bizarre and upsetting when you find a red-bricked road crossing your path.
Going perpendicular to...
It seems to be curving off, and then eventually it'll straighten out and be heading in the direction that you're going. So as you've been trekking through the forest, it's been easy-ish going. The foliage above you is slowly blotting out the sun, but there is still daylight here. But yes, you stop suddenly as you see this probably 10-foot wide red bricked road crossing your path.
Hey, Lulu, you live here, right?
I mean, I've been here for a while.
Is this normal? Has this always been here?
DM?
Give me a nature roll.
Sure. Ooh, what's my nature? That's a 10 altogether.
You're unaware of any beasts or animals that practice in road construction. Yeah, this seems odd.
It seems pretty out of place to me, just from what I know so far about these woods. I don't trust it.
So, avoid.
That's my instinct, but I prefer the woods anyway, so I might be a little biased.
Sound advice, Mac?
I mean, flat ground is nice, but I trust Lulu.
Okay. So you
Ignore it is.
Cross the brick road. All right. As you cross the road, there is that moment of hesitation that the city dwellers have to look both ways when crossing the street. It is not a particularly wide road, maybe 15, 20-ish feet wide, so you can get across it in a few steps. But there is a sense of this is a well-trod path. The bricks here are worn down to the point of near ovalness. They're not, like, rectangles anymore. They're more rounded. They're not the flagstones of a large city. They're definitely hand-laid bricks, but they've just been here so long. They've been worn away by time, feet, and whatever else uses this track. As you are all crossing the road, I need you to give me perception checks.
Oh, good.
21.
Let's see. Perception. I also got a 21.
I only got a 13.
5.
And Lulu got a 13?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Magna and Merrimack, as you're crossing the road, you've looked both ways. Lulu, you've just sort of skipped across and are making for the underbrush on the other side. You can see that coming up here pretty soon is a large bramble patch that you're probably going to have to try to navigate around. Magna and Merrimack, though, when you glance left down the road, near where it bends and starts curving northwards, you see a hunched figure sitting just kind of at the edge of the road. They seem to be stretching, for lack of a better term. They have one leg out in front of them, and they're slowly reaching towards it, and occasionally you'll see them lean back and trying to roll out their shoulders. What's really odd, though, is the huge, what looks like backpack they're wearing on their back that is just covered in these large, weird, polygonal spikes.
What?
And this is maybe 50 feet down the road away from you?
And Lulu doesn't see it, right?
No, Lulu's pretty focused on, let's move away from the road, because it's weird.
Yeah.
I'll point this out. Anybody else see that?
Fight, yes or no?
Lulu, as soon as it's pointed out, you can glance down the road and oh yeah, there's somebody down there.
Oh. Do you think they're friendly?
Absolutely not. Just based on
Probably
experience
not.
so far.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
As you watch, you see the figure get up and continue what looks like a stretching routine. They're putting their arm up over their head and sort of leaning to the side, putting their other arm up, leaning to the other side, kind of swaying back and forth, whirling their shoulders. And you can see now that this backpack that they're wearing is absolutely enormous. It juts out beyond their shoulders and comes out from their back. It's this massive, what looks like framed backpack. And again, it's just, from a distance, it looks like it is covered in these large pyramidal spikes just all over it.
Does anything about this person seem untoward besides the gigantic spiked backpack, I guess?
Tough to tell from this distance. Not particular. They're not actively eating any children, so it's, yeah.
It's good.
You can see now that they've stood up that they do have a tail that is jutting out from below the backpack, kind of swishing around.
Can we tell what race they are?
From this distance and with the trees and stuff hanging over it, they appear humanoid. It's tough to say exactly what they are from where you are.
I kind of lean into Mac and Lulu. Do you want to go check this out? See if they're okay, maybe?
Out of character, I'm pretty sure I know what this is, what this situation is, and so I'm very intrigued. So, we've done a pretty good job with everything else we've come across. So if it breaks bad,
We can just beat them up.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And even if they're not friendly, it would be 3 versus 1. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like we can handle our own.
So check it out?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you trek on down the road. Walking down the cobbles, you can feel that they are smooth and easy to walk on. The road here is the easiest walking you've done in the last 2 days. The Dreadwood is uneven and hard to trek through. It's untamed wilderness. This is flat and even and seems to just follow a straight, if slightly meandering, path towards your destination. And it's just like, oh, this is a relief to walk on, given everything else you've been trekking through. Lulu, it still strikes you as just like, this is too easy.
Yeah, she's pretty suspicious.
As you approach, you can see that at first what you thought was a backpack is in fact a massive shell on the back of a two-legged, two-armed, hunched form of a turtle person.
Lulu stops being suspicious and immediately wants to make friends.
Has this person noticed us yet?
Depends on if you're approaching stealthily or not. If you're just walking up the road, then it seems like, yeah, you're just going to make a straight-up approach, and it'll turn and look at you as you approach, and you can see that its hunched turtle head is sort of at the end of a longish neck, and its skin is this dark mottled green speckled with white, and its face has these white blotchy marks that almost resemble a skull, like over the eyes and down in front of the mouth a little bit. It's not precise, but it's definitely enough to be like, oh, that's a little upsetting.
Okay.
I'll raise a hand in a gesture of friendship and say, "Hi, I'm Magna. How's it going?"
And it'll tilt its head a little bit, and you can see that its eyes are this blank, milky white. It seems as though this creature might be blind, but it's staring right at you. And it'll say, travelers. Don't see many of them on this path.
It's more like a rescue mission, but yeah.
Rescue. Good joke.
Yeah, that was we're funny.
Lulu
What?
behaves wildly. Sorry.
Look down at you, Lulu, and it'll kind of like give you this weird beaky grin, and you see when its like lips pull back, its mouth is full of these broken, like sharp, almost filed teeth.
I regret this more and more.
No, it's fine. What's your name?
Magna. And it seems to be rolling your name around in its palate. And it'll say,
Well, that's my name.
Yeah. Well, just getting a taste for it. Name's Crawl. How's it going?
You know, I'm glad you asked. I'm having a bit of a weird day.
So many jokes.
Yeah, I'm a real kidder. Hey, what's with this road?
And I'll kind of like look on down the road, slowly come back to you, and say, this here's the Blood Brick Road. Granny made it pretty useful if you're going into the Dreadwood.
Cool. So what if we don't want to use it?
And they'll give this big, turtly shrug and say, up to you, I guess.
I think I might regret asking this, but how did it get its name? Blood Brick doesn't sound great.
You're a traveling bunch of comedians.
Good one, Lulu. Yeah, that was.
I'm a hoot.
Yeah.
And he'll like look down at the bricks and just like you can see him from kind of riding at his hip. He'll pull out this big, wicked-looking mace that has this double-ended metal fixture at the end that looks like two skulls facing away from each other. And he'll like tap the bricks and say, give him a look.
Yeah, Lulu definitely like bends down to look at these bricks.
Okay. And you can see as you like look down and stare at the bricks, there are little flecks. Like what you thought was red is actually just a coating. The bricks themselves were maybe gold or some kind of like daffodil yellow to begin with. And they have been just coated in some kind of dark red paint. Yeah, it's probably paint.
Uh-huh. Lulu's horrified. And I think she would like try her best to like step off of the bricks. Like she just wants to be right on the side of the road now. She doesn't want
Mm-hmm.
nope. Nope, nope, nope.
Yeah, and Merrimack is like, well, it was great talking to you. Bye.
And Crawl, this turtle, will just kind of shrug and say, have fun.
And I'm gonna step off the road with Lulu.
I take a big sidestep off the road, but I will ask. So, Carl, what would you say you do here?
Me. I'm.
Like a greeter, or
I'm on loan, I'd say. Yeah.
from?
Well, Granny, she's got an old friend who is a friend of mine, and a favor for a favor, you know how it goes. Mad Maggie's not someone you want a debt with, so paying it off to pay it off, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Weird, unrelated final question. You run many races?
Yeah. How'd you know?
It's a wild guess.
That's what I'm doing here, but that bitch-ass punk ain't showing.
who are you supposed to be racing exactly?
Some little turd of a messenger for Granny. He said he could beat me in a race. Said he'd bet one of his luck blades on it. So I put up, and he'll like lift his mace and like pop it into a hand and say, and I put up my old hammer here. But now, and he'll just like glance around at the empty road. Huh. Coward.
Well, maybe the race has already started?
Maybe they've already passed you.
Ah! 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 No.
Well,
And he'll like tap his eye, and you can see his like claw actually like tap at the eyeball when he does. And Crow will say, I'd have seen him.
All right. Well, hopefully we can touch back on this.
And he'll just like shrug as
Because
though he's not even finished with his thought, and he'll say, and if that little punk doesn't want the only thing in these here woods that can bypass Granny's damage resistance, that's fine by me.
uh, actually,
Mac, did you?
we circle back on that. Damage resistance?
And
Hey, can we borrow that?
I mean, I'll race you for it.
and he'll like look at you, Merrimack, and let out a like low breath. Yeah. Okay, kid. You want to race?
Sure.
Okay. You make it to the end of the blood brick path before me, and you'll win and get my mace here. Maybe smash in old Granny's head.
Maybe.
Maggie'd love that. Ha ha ha.
Where does the blood brick path end?
And he'll just give you a wicked grin.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a dumb question.
And he'll say, but what are you putting on the line? Seems as though I'm the only one risking anything.
I mean, I got all these like jewels and stuff that I stole from that stupid troll.
Ain't worth
got these little
nothing.
Got these spell beetles.
Got your shoes.
I got my magic shoes.
And he'll just be like, and?
Oh, and then Merrimack starts flying with them.
And he's just like, I'm looking for something worthwhile, kid. This here's made of infernal steel, mined on a furnace, and you're offering trinkets. Come on. And he'll like ruffle around in a pouch, and you can see that he's bedecked with all of these like jangling pouches and vials of things around his belt. And he'll pull out like a large coin that's maybe 5 inches long and an inch thick, and he'll say, something really valuable, and give you like a long, slow smile.
Yeah.
I
I
think
got nothing.
I
I shall
think
give you a lock of my golden hair.
Do you say that?
I'm just not sure. Like, Elliot, I've read some fairy tales, but I don't know if Merrimack has like the context to be like, yeah, I'll chop off all my hair and give it to you. That's got to be worth something, right? The hair
Why
of a
not-
princess.
Why don't you give me a history roll, and we'll find out if you have
Alright.
context.
Ooh.
That is a dirty 20.
Oh. There are old sea shanties and tales that tell of making deals with sea hags and sirens and island witches, in which one might trade the most valuable thing, a person's soul, their essence. Other creatures trade in more esoteric things like attributes, your strength, your speed, your age, your beauty, things like that. There are also creatures of the true deep, which trade in favors, is usually the highest commodity, though that always ends badly for whoever has the favor asked of them.
Yeah. How many years is that thing worth?
Years? 2,500.
Oh, yeah, I don't have that many.
Yeah, I don't. What? No.
25 I could have probably done, but
Hey, Crawl.
Yeah. And his, like, jaw will sort of slacken a little bit as he turns his head towards you.
Kind of sounds like we're doing you a solid if we take out Granny, right?
Look. Maybe my hammer gets into the right hands. Maybe those hands end up going for Nightshade's head. Maybe that makes Maggie happy. Maybe that makes my boss happy. I don't know. I was just told I had to do old Granny Nightshade a favor. And she said, I'll think about it. So here I am until she decides what I need to do. So maybe I introduce a little chaos while I'm here.
Yeah.
Ain't my favor you're doing, though.
All right. Well, this has been deeply unsettling. Bye.
Okay, then.
Merrimack is visibly disappointed
And I
that she
think,
didn't get to race the turtle.
yeah, I think Lulu is still like her brain is going. She's still trying to. What if, what if it was your favor that we agreed to do if we don't win the race?
I think that Lulu, or so like I want to say that like that Crawl is between Lulu and Merrimack, and as he's looking at Lulu, Merrimack is like, that always ends badly.
And Krull will just say, that's a pretty good wager, I'd say. One favor for old Krull. One mace for you. If you win. Which,
Lulu kinda looks
spoiler
up at her
alert,
companions.
you won't.
Lulu looks up at Magna and Merrimack and kind of like,
And the turtle will just like shoulder the mace and kind of give a shrug. It's like, no skin off my shell either way. Just saying, like jangled the mace a little bit. This thing, well, hags don't start pretty. This makes them a lot less pretty.
Do you know what her damage resistance is?
And he'll kind of grin.
Probably not. Not going to tell us. Okay, that makes sense.
And he'll look to you, Lulu, and that big disc kind of coin he's holding in his hand, he'll pinch one end of it and kind of hold it towards you gingerly and say, wanna have a race, little one?
oh, Lulu doesn't want to race him because she's not very fast. She's just real interested in that mace.
Fair enough, I suppose.
I don't know. It seems pretty
Suspect?
big. Yeah, I'm a little hesitant.
And Krull will give you a big smile and just shrug and say, "Up to you. I didn't really have any plans if that punk-ass bitch didn't show up."
I think Lulu is feeling more and more doubtful. Uh, and she's gonna like try and save face by pulling out her little belt pouch with all the animal figurines in and be like, "What about these?"
And Krull will sort of lean over, his neck kind of sticking out, and you see his head kind of like come forward without his body really moving. And he'll glance down into and see like the wound mollusks you're carrying, and he'll say, "Yeah, that's Granny's work right there. Good stuff, that. Biomancy, soul grafting, spell grafting. Nothing I couldn't do, though."
Do you do that for a living or?
No, I ain't a forger. No. Mostly
So a
I just
hobby?
tend the gate back home. Nah, that's a hag thing. Not my jam, you know. But like I said, and he'll like wheel the coin towards you, Merrimack. "If you want this mace, I got a race."
That's very good. It's very tempting. Your rhyming is hard to resist.
They are on point.
I mean,
I think we could do it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
It's only guys. It's only episode 4 or 3. This path is going to take us a while to get there. Look, I'm cool. I'm game with whatever. If you guys don't like this turtle man, we can figure something else out, and just trek through the underbrush, or go on the path anyway. Simple as easy. Or I'll race this turtle. It's up to, I'll do either one.
I think
Just don't
it'd
get
be fun to see a race.
Just don't get cocky.
Too late.
Good point.
No, that's bad.
So do you pinch the other side of the coin that he's proffering you?
Well, I haven't really offered him anything.
He'll take the gnome's favor.
Oh.
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 Yeah.
Yeah. You agree with that?
I'll do the favor. I'm okay with that. But
You sure about this?
if I can have her race instead of me, she's probably faster than me.
And Krull will nod and go, "Yeah, sure."
All right. Does the race start when I pinch the end of your coin here?
As soon as the pact is sealed. Yep.
Lulu, before they get started, Lulu says, "What are the rules of this race?"
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
First one to Castle Spiral wins.
Castle Spiral.
That's it. That's the only rule.
That's the rule.
Lulu's gonna go over to Merrimack and like touch her like on the arm or something and say good luck. And when she does that, she's gonna cast Enhance ability on her.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it says I touch a creature and bestow upon it a magical enchantment. I think I would assume this might be an athletic thing, so I'm gonna give her advantage on Oh, yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Oh. Advantage on strength checks?
Okay.
So bull strength. I'm giving her bull strength.
Okay.
Um, yeah, you have advantage on strength checks and your carrying capacity doubles.
Oh, cool.
And you can see Krull kind of like looking at you as you're casting the spell and the magic coming off your hand, and he'll just smile and nod.
Oh my. Oh yeah, he's walking speed. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll do it.
You pinch the end of the coin,
Yep.
and you feel the slight prick as some kind of like sliver of metal pierces the pad of your thumb. And across the coin, you just like lock eyes with Krull, and he'll give you this big, wide smile. And he'll say, "The race is on. First one to Castle Spiral takes the prize." And he'll, like, withdraw the coin, and you can see that it has pricked your thumb, and there's like a little bit of blood left on the coin. And while you're touching it, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
I have +3 from me to
Pa-
my aura.
Paladin goodness.
Oh, thank goodness, because you want to know what my Constitution score is? It's 11, which means I have a modifier of 0. But now I have a modifier of 3,
Oh, goodness.
Good,
and that's a
good.
dirty 20.
Hey, there we go. Okay, and I believe you needed a 15, if I'm not
25.
mistaken. Yeah. No, you're good.
Okay. You needed a 30.
No.
Yikes.
So, as you are holding this coin for a brief moment, and you feel it drawing away your blood, you can sense there's a howling pain and anguish and terror as some shrieking damned soul trapped in the coin tries to scrape at your blood for aid, but then you like take your hand away and it's like, oh no, that thing is evil.
Aw, man.
And Krull will just smile at you and tuck the
Oh,
coin
boy.
away and say, "Bang, go."
All right, guys, let's go. Merrimack starts jogging.
Just walk after her.
Yeah. Does Kroll look like he's getting a speedy start, or is he like
He's
expectedly?
continuing to shrug a little bit, and then he'll tuck the mace back behind his shell again, and then he'll just start, like, plodding down the road a little bit. And he'll say, "First one there wins."
Oh no.
Slow and
Yeah.
steady, right?
It's
Yep.
always been my motto.
Oh boy.
You ever, like, stop?
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And, like, you'll stare at his milky white eyes and, like, weird mottled flesh, and give me a religion roll.
All right. Let's give it a shot. Not great. That is going to be 12.
You see a couple of insignias on some knee pads and elbow pads that he's wearing that are emblazoned with a 5-pointed claw-like sigil that you know is a marker of a servant of the Queen of Chromatic Dragons, Tiamat herself.
We probably should have made that religion check before I did this.
Oh no.
So when you say, "Do you ever stop?" he will say, "Not until she says so."
Cool. Bye.
And he'll just start
Just keep
plodding down the
walking.
road. And if you start walking down the road as well, after Merrimack jogging down, you quickly outpace Krull. He's not moving fast.
For now, at
But
least.
he's moving consistently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just gotta keep going, guys. I feel real,
Oh.
real nervous about this.
As Merrimack is jogging ahead of them, she suddenly has the realization, oh, I need to sleep though.
So you start on down the Blood Brick Road.
Yep. Following it even.
Cool.
Is it possible to walk right alongside it without actually being on it?
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
Lulu's still pretty grossed out by it.
Just
Yeah.
like a nice non-creepy mode side.
There's like a small ditch to either side of the road, occasionally interrupted by a tree that's grown too close, and there are lumpy bits of the road occasionally where a root underneath will have pushed it up slightly, but for the most part the road is a smooth, easy track through these woods.
And we start the story of the tortoise and the Merrimack.
Truly a classic.
My favorite as a child. I can't remember how it ends though.
We will see.
Yeah. I don't think anything bad happens to the hare in most of them.
Just doesn't
But-
win.
Just doesn't win, which is fine. Of
Mhm,
course he didn't. The hare in the story didn't make a deal.
With a
Yeah,
dragon
tortoise.
with 5 heads.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
The
fair.
Tiamat worshipping death priest, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
You know, these things happen.
As
It's
you begin moving down the road, what kind of pace are you setting?
It seems like Merrimack wants to go fast, so I'm just gonna try to keep pace.
Yeah, not like an exhaustive pace though.
Okay.
Sure wish I had a level 2 spell slot right now.
As you are moving, you notice that the woods to either side of the path are beginning to grow thicker and darker. The road is not wide enough to make any appreciable gap in the canopy above you. The daylight, as it continues to wind past, is slowly diminishing, and you notice that the woods around you is growing thicker and thicker and thicker, to the point where before there was gaps in the trees where you were just fighting through underbrush. Now you can see that the forest here is starting to become choked with trees. It seems you're leaving the outer fringes of the Dreadwood and entering into a zone known as the Middle Reaches. It is here where true cartography begins to fail you, and where most sorties into the Dreadwood that attempt to quell monstrous uprisings in here stop. Any who bypass the Middle Reaches are beginning to get into the truly dark regions of the Dreadwood. And you find yourselves at the edges of the Middle Reaches now. The lights around you are only bright within about 20 feet, and after that it dwindles into dimness. You can still see. There's no need for any artificial light sources yet, but you can tell that the light here is being choked by the woodlands. Occasionally you'll glance backwards when you reach a long, straight stretch of road and maybe pause to catch your breath, and you can always, in the distance, see the small, trundling form of Krull coming up behind you ever so slowly. Sometimes he'll be hundreds of yards off. Sometimes you'll lose sight of him completely when the road twists around a slow bend, avoiding some obstacle that you're unaware of because of the thick foliage. But you know he's back there, and he's a-comin'.
Yeah, so the next question is, are we going to stop to rest?
How late is it getting, DM?
Give me a nature roll.
Oh dear. Let's see. I think that is... Yeah, that's going to be 13.
It is remarkably difficult to tell the time of day in this part of the woods. There is still daylight. You know it's not the evening yet, because even in the outer fringes of the Dreadwood, once night fell in, it was truly oppressively dark in this forest. So, like, there's still daylight coming from somewhere, so the sun hasn't set, but knowing exactly what time of day it is really tough to tell. Without some kind of gear-wound pocket watch or the keen mind feat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got those.
I mean, if we do stop, we'd be able to see if he passes us, right?
I mean, he probably will. He's kept a surprisingly quick pace so far.
Every time you've caught sight of him in the last, hour, he's been farther and farther behind you.
Let's just try to put some distance between us before we have to make camp. How about that?
Yeah.
I mean, 8 hours. He'll probably pass us no matter what, but I agree.
That's true.
Okay. You continue for as long as you want to. Eventually, the light does begin to dwindle. And as it slowly grows darker and darker along this road, the woods to either side stop being woods at all and start becoming just a disturbing wall of shadow that closes in around the Blood Brick Road.
Comforting.
There is a weird sort of, not glow, not light, but it's that thing you get when you're out in a snowstorm at midnight. Like when there's just snow blanketing the ground. Like there's enough light being reflected that it gives off a weird ambient light. And whatever little light is left, because you are on the Blood Brick Road, has a strange sort of refraction. So you're given a slight reprieve before total darkness begins filling the space. But pretty soon you can tell that the sun has set. It is getting into the evening. And you can, those of you with dark vision can see 20 feet in front of your face, and after that it starts getting really, really dark. Merrimack, you're effectively blind.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So when this full darkness has set, what is your plan?
Probably camp.
Okay. Do you camp on the road itself?
Probably just off to the side.
All right. Why don't you give me survival checks to see if you can find a decent campsite?
Okay.
That road is not going to be there when we wake up, but
Oh no.
I rolled a 3.
I got a 15.
I got 8.
8?
8.
Oh, okay. You find what is effectively, seems like a ditch off to the side of the road. It's like a little 5-foot drop off to one side just before night becomes truly oppressive. And it's at the side of that ditch that you see another strange sight along this even stranger road, and that is a sign with an arrow pointed northward.
What's it say?
It says Nwat.
Does that...
Mean anything?
Nothing off the top of your head. It says NWOT.
What kind of check do I have to make to realize that that says town backwards?
I think you just did.
Okay. Well, I mean, Merrimack, I got it, but her intelligence is 12, so I don't
I
know.
would say you're above average intelligence, so
Okay.
Nice.
What?
Nilbog. No.
What is this?
Well, it says town backwards. I don't know if that's anything.
And I like try to turn my head upside down.
Yeah, Lulu like inspects it closely.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
Does that mean there's a not town further north?
the word is backward. Do you think the arrow is backwards as well?
Maybe we're overthinking this. Maybe they just wrote it backward because they're weird.
Yeah, this is a pretty weird place.
Yeah, maybe they're just bad at naming things.
That's also a fair point, a fair guess.
Yeah, the thing that you notice here is that the word itself isn't mirrored. It's not written backwards. It is literally
Right.
the letters NWOT.
Yeah.
Nwot.
You want to check it out, gang?
Sure. I'll cast light on my little seashell. It's moderately sized seashell.
Let's just not split up
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Shall
not.
we
again.
link arms, perhaps? No.
We skip it and off to see the wizard style. Blood brick road.
Follow the blood brick road.
If ever a hag there was.
So
Maybe
do
Nightshade is one
Goodness.
because
you camp in the ditch or do you try to press on?
And let's check out this Nwat.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So let's make sure we don't eat anything.
Pressing forward, you continue for maybe an hour or two in this really awful darkness. Something you notice pretty quickly, though, is that the sounds of wildlife have returned. So there is like the flutter of wings and the hooting of owls in the distance, the slight chitter of birds nesting in trees. There is the scamper of creatures in the underbrush. You can't see any of them in this darkness, but they're there now, and that's a small comfort for some of you.
Do
think
they
it's a
sound
big
fake
comfort.
again?
Oh,
Give me a perception check.
all of us?
Yeah, whoever has that suspicion.
Yeah.
Well, here's Merrimack for you. 5. Ah, nice to hear some birds again.
Lulu got 23.
I got a 5 as well, so
Merrimack and Magna are just like, oh, excellent bird animal sounds. And
raccoon.
Nwat was a good idea.
Lulu, you focus in on some of the rhythms to try to see if there's that loop again, and you hear off in the distance the some kind of huge owl. You hear the twitter of some other night birds, and the rhythm is distinct and somewhat random. There isn't a loop that you can detect. It seems as though this is natural nighttime woodland noise.
I
And-
think she would say that. She would say, and guys, I don't think it's fake this time.
It was fake before?
Oh, it was fake before. Ooh,
Yeah.
good thing that it's not this time. That would suck.
And as you say that in the distance, there's a long, mournful
Me too, buddy.
So, how about this Nwat? Yeah.
As you continue to
Yeah.
trek down the road, eventually you see a third and possibly the most peculiar sight you've seen upon this day's journey, and that is the glow of a street lamp about 150 feet ahead of you, and it seems to mark the edge of a small town. The trees are cleared, at least for the most part. There are still trees standing between many of the buildings, but there are at least a dozen buildings here, and they're made of low, what looks like stone and wood masonry, pretty basic construction. And there is a large, like, traveling hall, tavern, inn right on the road into town. There are several dirt paths leading away from the Blood Brick Road that wind around into this small village that you now see ahead of you. On the wind that is still slowly, coldly whipping down from the north, the sound of music drifts.
This is so suspicious, but it's also so good to see buildings again.
Yeah, let's stay suspicious. And as we
Sorry.
as we get kind of within the reaches of the town, I will use divine sense to look for anything potentially untoward.
Okay. Casting about with your divine sense. Within 60 feet, you don't detect anything fey, fiend, celestial, undead.
Oh.
You do get a whiff of evil about this place. There is something unsettling and malevolent, but to be fair, you also got a very similar sense from just the woods itself, so it might be the fact that you're just here, and the fact that you've moved deeper into the woods means that the sense of evil has increased. It's tough to say for certain.
Okay.
And you don't sense any desecrated or hallowed ground around here either.
Okay.
Or at least not within 60 feet.
Well,
Sure.
I mean, I was expecting this place to be lousy with fae, so that's a good sign.
Do we see any people about?
No. There's only 3 street lamps in this town. It seems as though the town itself ends like 200 feet down the road. It's not, there's maybe a dozen buildings here. You see at least one empty blacksmith, one, like I said, there's an inn right as you're entering the town. It looks as though it has an attached stablery to it. There are several other small buildings within the surrounding area. They're all within line of sight of each other, and they're all within the light cast by these 3 lamps that are scattered around the town.
Okay.
None of them are over 1 story tall.
You said there was... Oh, sorry.
I was thinking, I think I might have been about to ask the same question. You said we heard music?
You hear music, and as you get closer and closer to the entrance to town, you can tell that it's coming from the inn. And you can also tell that it's repeating. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Like a dog.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. And it's just repeating over and over and over again.
Are there windows into the inn?
There are, and you can see that there are dim lights inside as well.
But no people?
Glancing inside, you see that there are patrons sitting at the bar, sitting at tables. There is a barman behind the table. You can see that the music, the repeating music, is just coming from a person up on a stage holding a lute.
I'd like to make an investigation check. Just about like the music, just like plunking that 4 note thing repeatedly is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I just want to see if there's anything else weird about the patrons, like if they're on any weird loops or whatever. But not with a 10.
They seem to be sitting around holding mugs of things. Some of them have food in front of them. They don't seem to be lively, per se, but they're not necessarily... Yeah. They're all sitting at tables and bars, like I said. Occasionally one will get up and move over to the bar and get their drink refilled.
Merrimack like looks back at the other 2, just kind of shrugs.
Seems okay.
As far as I can tell, I mean, it's not like a happening joint, but that doesn't surprise me.
All right. Want to go in and check it out? See if we can stay?
Yeah, if anything, we should just find a room that we can sleep in and we can eat our own food and all that.
It is getting late, and much as I don't want that guy to catch up with us, we can't move forever like he can.
Yeah,
Maybe if we're lucky, we can make up ground.
yeah.
So you enter the inn.
Very lucky.
Yeah,
when
I'll step inside.
when we wake up, shit's gonna be whack. We're not gonna be in a building. The road is not gonna be there, and we're gonna be fucked. But let's do it. That's all
Let's
out of
find
character.
out.
You know what? That's out of character. Merrimack is chill with all of this.
So you open the door into the inn. It makes a low. As you do, many of the patrons will turn their heads to look at you as you enter. It's very obvious when you come into this place. There's not a lot of noise or chatter. There's some low murmuring that goes up, but the bard continues the bum 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 bum. It's like a background acoustic guitar that just keeps playing the same notes over and over and over again. It's like a loop you could make on GarageBand or something.
Yeah.
I'll walk up to the counter and ask, "You got any rooms?"
And the barkeep who you see has watched you the whole time you've entered has just been cleaning the same glass the whole time. And a lot of the patrons are slowly turning to track your movement as you come in. A couple of them like leaning in to have low conversations with each other.
It's like an Old West saloon.
Yeah.
And the bartender will say, "Yes, we have rooms."
Like a human would.
Yeah, I'm a person too. How much?
It is a gold for a room.
Is there a room that looks out onto the street?
You don't even know where the rooms are in this place
I'm not
yet.
asking him.
He will say, "No. Windows are dangerous. All rooms are below."
Okay, have a nice night, sir. We'll be on our way.
Yeah, I'm with her on this one. Y'all are weird. Have a nice night. Bye. And I'll walk out with Merrimack.
Yeah, like Merrimack,
Yeah.
the rooms are below. Well, that's terrible.
sound
Thank
great.
you. I'm gonna
No.
go.
Lulu definitely doesn't want to stay in a dungeon.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Do you just like turn around and just leave?
Oh, and
Oh,
Merrimack is power walking to the other end of this Nawat. Like,
So as you're
Like,
turning and moving towards the exit of the inn, the bard's still plucking bum 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 bum, and as
learn another song, jerk.
And as you're leaving, everyone in the bar, in almost perfect synchronicity, drinks at the same time and places their glasses down.
oh, we should not have come here.
They're gonna eat us. They're totally gonna eat us.
Were we out of the bar yet, or is something about to happen?
That all happens just as you're exiting, and you
Okay,
all
cool.
notice it as they, like, there are probably 20 people in here, and they all drink at the same time, and then place their glasses down at the same time. And there's a resounding thunk as it all happens at once.
So this is as we're outside.
This is
like,
as
just
you're
as we get out.
getting out back onto the road.
Well, this has been helpful. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Merrimack is power walking, shaking her head no. Like, this
Yeah.
was such a bad idea.
That was not great.
Where do you go? What do you do?
He's on down the road.
He's on down.
As you leave, you
Yeah,
can see that there's a sign outside the inn that just says "knee."
We almost got eaten. I'm certain.
Yeah.
We almost got eaten.
I would like to I think Merrimack even like turns around while she's power walking to like face the rest of them and is like, I would like to get as far away from this place as possible before we make camp.
Yeah, let's just keep going for maybe like another hour, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's do that. Yeah.
we'll just walk really fast and then get a late start.
Yeah.
I need you all to give me perception checks.
Okay.
Crap. Yeah, natural 20.
I think Merrimack is still, well, I guess depending. I botched. So like Merrimack falls down. I don't know.
23 total for me.
Okay.
I had 11.
11. So, Merrimack, you are continuing to walk backwards and like down the blood brick path out of town. You're just like, we need to get the fuck out of here. Magna, you see coming up from around a building with a sign dangling from it that says Fierhes. Or, yeah. And there's a person wearing a tri-cornered hat and a long trench coat holding a lamp coming around the corner. Just kind of like tilting their head, staring at you as you're moving down the road.
Like, fear aspect. Sheriff?
Oh.
I like pointed out, that seems bad, but let's just keep going.
And if Merrimack keeps walking the way she is, she's going to run into him as he comes out into the middle of the road.
Hey, you're gonna back into that guy.
What?
Natural 20 balancing out the botch there.
Yeah.
Oh, Merrimack will like spin on her heel. So
I don't
going
have it out
forward
yet,
again.
but I am like, my hand is hovering around my sword, very much ready for some fun.
So this lumpy humanoid comes out. Their face has these just really thick mutton chops coming down to the side. They've got an eyebrow that has met in the center and is beginning to creep up the forehead a little bit.
Big eyebrow.
And yeah, Lulu, you get the distinct sense that this person isn't right for some reason. Just like there's something unnatural about them as they approach, and they will say, "Hello, welcome to our town."
Hey, pleased to make your eyebrows acquaintance. We're gonna go.
Yes, this place is lovely, but we just don't have time to sightsee. Okay, have a nice night.
It is dangerous at night. You should rest here.
That gun you like is going to come back in style. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We've camped in this forest already, so I think we're gonna be okay. But thank you. Is he blocking our way at all?
He's just standing in the middle of the road. He's not like actively trying to like skitter in front of you, but he's definitely just right in the middle of the road.
Okay, we're just.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around him.
Yeah, walk around for sure.
And he slowly rotates as you walk around and just doesn't move from the position he's in, just tracks your movement. His eyes sort of just staring after you, and he says, "It is dangerous at night. You should rest here."
Ugh.
Great advice. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And you just skitter out of town?
Yeah, we'll just keep going.
I'm not. No.
This is the bad place.
Right.
This whole forest.
Like Lulu's pretty fearless, and this place gives her the creeps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hardcore.
Honest, you know what? Tip for that innkeeper: say yes. I will show you to the rooms and get them downstairs so they can't run away. Idiot.
Wow.
On your way out of town, you pass a large building. This is the only one that seems to be rising up over the one stories of everything else, though it does so in a peaked roof, not necessarily a second story. You see that it rises up into a bell tower of some kind, and it has a sign dangling from the front that says "Kirk." CHURHC.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, let's
God, I hate all of this.
This is bad. This is bad. This is really bad.
No, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Magnus, get out here.
Yeah.
I think Merrimack like the panic laughter is like, oh guys, look, it's a church. We'll probably be safe there, right? Ha 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 ha. Let's keep going.
As you
Good
pass,
joke.
you can see
Good
that
joke, town.
the big wooden door that blocks the entrance to the chapel itself is marred with these long, dragging scratch marks of enormous claws across the wood, though the door seems to have held. And in the brickwork next to the door, you can see those same claw marks continuing away from where they, like, moved across the door and then moved across the brick, still chipping through the stonework as though it was the same material.
Can I have a question.
Mhm.
When Lulu conjures animals, can she conjure riding horses that we can ride, or are they like
Ephemeral.
What is...
yeah.
I mean, they have substance. What is the DC of a riding horse? I don't know how many horses conjure animals can summon.
So it is a 1/4, which means that she could, if she needed to, conjure 8 of them.
Well, then that answers your question, I think.
Yeah, I think this is getting progressively creepier, and I think Lulu would like to conjure some riding horses for us.
Okay. And you do so outside the Kahurk.
I'm gonna divine sense. Specifically at the Kahurk.
Okay.
The Kruk.
You sense that it is hallowed ground.
Oh.
Anything else?
Just that sense of dread malevolence still filling this place, but other than that, like, that is what you sense. Unless Lulu has already summoned her horses.
Well, my divine sense
I
wouldn't
don't-
lie to me, would it?
Can Lulu
Can I check out the Kruk? Kahurk?
Sure, you move towards it.
Yeah. Tentatively.
Oh, Magna, what are you doing? Merrimack is like walking in, like jogging in place, like
It's
no,
hallowed
please,
ground.
please,
I don't.
please.
And you can see about 100 feet away, the person who greeted you with the lantern hasn't moved at all, and is just standing there
Oh.
staring
Sir.
at you.
Is there anyone around this?
Not as far as you can tell.
Okay. Are there? I'm guessing there aren't any windows. Or
Uh,
are there?
the
'Cause
windows
inn
are
has
high
windows.
up, and they're stained glass. It's tough to tell what they are from the outside.
Crud.
Lulu's gonna follow behind, and as they get closer, she wants to cast Find Traps.
Okay,
Good call.
that is a good spell. Casting Find Traps, you do not sense... what's the range on Find Traps?
120 feet.
120 feet. You do sense several traps, but nowhere in the vicinity of the Kahurk. There are several in a couple of buildings nearby.
Huh.
One is labeled Tim's, and the other is labeled Hretbror. Or Hretrub, something like that. Yes.
Like Butcher.
Oh, there we go.
Butcher and
Okay.
Smith.
Yeah. Smith, I caught.
Yeah. So this place is definitely not great, y'all. There's traps, but not in the
Not here.
Kirk.
Can I hear anything inside the place?
You put an ear to the the door. Give me a perception check.
Oh lordy, here we go. Come on, that nat 20. Let's go. 14.
14. You think you maybe hear some like very light shuffling from inside, but it is quickly drowned out by a sound that is more readily available in the near distance. Somewhere from the woods around the town, there's a
I'll open the door.
You try the door. It is
I'll
locked.
try the door. Oh,
There's a thump thump as you try.
I knock.
Knock on the door. How do you knock? What is the rhythm?
Oh goodness.
Dude, shaving haircut.
The rhythm from that stupid song.
Okay. In that case, there is no response.
Shaving a haircut.
And you mix up and go ba 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 ba, and a voice from inside will say, "I don't care what you've learned. I'm not letting you in."
Hey, it's scary out here. Can we come in?
Sure it is.
I'm a paladin.
Uh-huh.
I promise.
They always promise.
Guy, just open the door. Gee, look.
I'm gonna need some kind of persuasion roll or something.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll give that a shot. That's pretty good. That's 21.
21. You'll hear a shuffling from inside, and then there's this big, like, exertion of effort, and you hear this
Come on, man. The night is dark and full of terrors, and it's cold out, and my friends are scared, and I am a little too...
Lulu, Merrimack, and Pork Chop outside are, like, staring around as you're having this argument with a door, and you can see coming out of the shadows between some of the buildings, like, one townsfolk appears, and they're just, like, holding a lantern staring at you. And they step out into the light.
Merrimack has summoned her pack weapon.
And you can see that the light of their lanterns doesn't really show up until they come into the light of the street lights. It's only then that the light of their lanterns actually add to the brightness. Other than that, they're just, like, dark, and then suddenly when they walk into the light, there's more light, because they're holding a lantern. Obviously, that's what lanterns do.
Yeah. Cool.
Buddy, how's it going in there?
And you see, like, about a foot above your head, a slot will open up, and these pair of eyes underneath, like, wispy eyebrows will stare at you. And we'll say, "Prove to me you're not one of them."
Hey, this place is weird. Let me in.
Good enough. And he'll slide the... And the door will be pulled open, and you'll see this wizened old man with this long flowing white beard and kind of like eyebrows that curl down and frame his face a little bit. It's like, come in.
Yeah. Divine sense.
Dang kids and your dog too. Get in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If your divine sense is still up, you sense a lot of good coming from this guy. But no celestial fiends, undead. As you scuttle inside. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Quickly.
The old
What's
man
up with this place?
will usher you inside and then close the door, and he'll say, help me with this. And he'll move over to this huge bar that was apparently holding the door fast. And you help him slot it back into place.
I'm very strong. I assist.
Yeah, very easy. Apparently he was able to pull it off himself, so... but it just falls into place with a dull...
Is there, like, some furniture I can put in the way as well?
You can see that there are some pews left in this place, but most of them seem to have been hacked apart to build a small fire up near the altar, which is where the light was coming from inside here.
Hey, help me move one of these things.
And he says, no, the bar will hold him.
I just want to be sure.
Merrimack will assist.
Okay. So you move one of the pews in front of the door. And as you're doing so, there is a light tapping. Bum, 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 bum. On the door. Just a light knocking.
I don't say or do anything.
Yeah, Lulu freezes in place.
Knock, 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 knock.
No.
And the old man is just kind of like frozen as well, staring at the door.
I go over to the old man. What is going on here?
And the old man is just going to shake his head and say, it started months ago. People in town, they started being replaced. I don't know if anyone's left. They're not people out there anymore.
Better question. Why are you living here?
We thought it was safe. The Kyoland and the elves of the Silverwood had pushed this far into the Dreadwood. They had cleared out all the monsters.
Clearly not.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, seems like, no.
Like,
Em-
you know that
emphatic
road
no.
out there is called the Blood Brick Road, right? Like, that's not just a fun name.
I did not know that, no.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
no,
well,
do.
I mean,
Bummer.
now we're all on the same page. Good, cool.
Pretty sure that's not paint.
Yeah.
Never assumed it was, but I did not know it actually had a name like that.
Yeah.
How long have you been living here? How long has this town been here?
Decades.
So who are you?
And he'll, like, kind of tuck his, like, vestments a little bit, and you can see that he clearly hasn't changed out of these clothes in days, if not weeks. They're kind of getting grubby at this point, but he'll try to make himself look as presentable as possible. And you can see now that it's not so much that he is a wizened old man. This guy is, in fact, a dwarf. He's got the broad shoulders and sturdy, but he's a tall dwarf, so it was like easy to make that. But he's got this wiry frame about him, and he'll say, "I am Father Bob, High Priest of Priest of Obod High." And as you look around at the stained glass, you can see that there are these like scenes depicting nature and like faces woven into trees using vines and stuff.
Nice to meet you, Father Bob. This seems like a pretty chill place.
No. It's the only safe place left in town, though.
Yeah, so it's pretty chill.
If you say so.
Yeah.
Comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, relative to being eaten in a basement, I'd say you're doing pretty good.
I suppose.
Okay,
And charging
so
a gold for it. Like, can we take a moment to like get some levity here? That's messed up. Charging me
that's
a gold
robbery.
ain't
Are
me.
they kidding?
Yeah.
Okay, back to being scared.
1 gold for a basement.
No
With
windows.
windows.
Things can get into windows. We built the town so it goes down, not up.
No, that makes sense. So, what god do you serve?
Obod High, Sham, god of nature, the woods. All things growing are under the care of Obod High.
All right.
Hunting beasts, the woodlands. Seemed like a good place to set up, I don't know.
Seems nice. I could hang.
There wasn't a lot of call for nature worship where I'm from. We don't really like trees all that much, in general.
Yeah, I have the same problem. If over the past couple days.
But the Forest Lord, he speaks to me. Through the plants, through the growing things.
And what does he say?
He says, get the fuck out of here.
That's...
That seems like pretty good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to come with us? We're
Yeah.
gonna go deeper into the place, but then leave.
I don't want to do that first part. I want to do the second part.
Okay, well then why don't you just do it?
And he'll, like, look back towards the door. And
Well, it's nighttime now, but...
We could come back for you and make sure you get to a safe place.
And he'll look to you, Merrimack, and say, it's worse during the day. Usually at night they're all inside. You seem to have roused them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Also, we didn't actually kill that troll, so it might be hard to get back over that river.
No, it's fine. He knows his place now. I think we're good.
Not sure he's smart enough to know his place.
Yeah, but we'll just, kill him again.
Anyway. Troll killing aside.
Father Bob says, look, if you're going to get out of here, tonight is the night. Tomorrow they're just going to set up camp outside. It'll only get worse.
Okay. Cool.
Then why don't you come with us right now?
Because you just said you're going deeper into the Dreadwood. And that
Yeah, but you
sounds
look like you
crazy.
You look like you could handle yourself, probably, maybe. I don't know.
Like, looks down at this skinny dwarven frame, and he's like, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, you know any spells?
I'm not that kind of priest.
Oh.
I can maybe do some druid craft, but that's about it. And he'll like place his hand down on the floorboards of this place, and a little flower will bloom.
Oh,
Luke gets
cute.
really excited to see another druid, and she like mimics him and also casts druidcraft and makes a little flower bloom.
Oh, you a follower of the Forest Lord then?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, excellent. Welcome, daughter. Welcome to his house. May you find some rest here at least.
It
So we
sounds like-
should move on tonight?
If you plan on getting out, I'd give it maybe a couple of hours, or wait till tomorrow night.
Oh, we can't do that.
that kind of time.
I'm gonna use my boots, my flying boots, and see there was a stained glass window. Is it over the door?
Mhm.
I want to look out and see how many people are crowded outside the door.
You're having to glance through weird stained glass, so it's tough. Give me a perception check.
Come on, natural 20, baby!
Not a natural 20, but it is a 17.
There are none.
Is there still knocking though?
No. The knocking has
Okay.
stopped. No one is
That's
outside.
Spooky. Yeah, report back.
Okay. So we gotta move fast.
We probably shouldn't have even, Father, it was great to meet you, but we really shouldn't have come in here in the first place. We were really on our way out of town, Magna.
It seemed pretty chill, and it kind of is, but, the whole getting stuck here for a day.
No.
And he'll say, okay, look, I will be okay here. I have some prepared gifts from the Forest Lord that will let me survive. Cast Goodberry once per day. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But if you're going to leave, and he'll look around and he'll move up towards the pulpit and begin scattering around, and he'll grab a necklace and bring it back and say, here. This might be able to help you.
Oh, what's this do?
And you can see that it is a
Accept it and hold
wound
it up.
a wound pendant of silver and brass and wood wound in itself, and what looks vaguely like a Celtic knot with a face kind of woven into the pattern. Say, this is a charm of the Forest Lord. It'll let you speak to his children once per day.
Okay.
Cool.
I toss it to Merrimack because I already know speak with animals.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
I can
Now I'm rocking
speak
2
with beasts as
necklaces.
well.
And if you say that out loud, he'll say, "No, no, not animals, the plants."
You know, I really shouldn't have just... Too late now. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm never taking this thing off.
Yeah.
I also have speak with plants, so I'm okay.
Now I'm the only one who can't talk to plants. This sucks.
We'll translate for you.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give you a
Alright.
turn.
Yeah.
Okay, can we
Thank
please
you.
leave this horrible
Thank
town?
you.
Yep, let's get moving.
Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry.
One quick thing. I can't make a horse right now, so how are we gonna go fast?
I can make horses.
Perfect.
And Father Bob will say, "You can make horses? Give me a horse!"
Well,
I mean, it'll only last for an hour.
you can come with us and you can have a horse.
Or I could ride in the other way.
Yeah, but that's dangerous.
Beats staying here.
We'll come back for you.
Cool.
And I guess we make some horses and leave.
Lulu's considering giving this guy a horse.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to ride the opposite direction, I guess that's
Does it-
cool.
Would she know? Would it disappear if she goes out of range of it?
No, it'll disappear after an hour.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can conjure up to 8 of these things.
Do you feel like you'd be safer out there or in here?
At this point, I just want to try to put as much distance between me and this place as possible. I should have never come to these woods.
Are you sure?
And he'll look around at, like, the splintered ruins of his chapel and, like, the altar that he's dissected for useful bits and pieces and say, "Yeah, pretty sure."
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Lulu?
Yes. Yeah, Lulu is gonna conjure up. So she's gonna cast her conjure animals.
Okay.
To conjure. I don't know if she can choose the number. Like, we don't need 8 of them.
Yeah, you can just summon 4 horses.
Yeah, we're summoning
Or
4
you could
horses.
summon 4 more and just send them off as a distraction.
That's a good idea. Yeah, she's gonna do that.
Okay.
She's gonna summon all 8 of the horses.
Okay. So there's a Lord of the Rings Two Towers moment where you have all these horses inside the church, and then the doors are flung open, and it's just like, "Ride! Ride for Wrath and the New Dawn!"
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all make them watch too.
As we all sort of mount up, I'll extend a hand to Father Bob and say, "Bob, hope I see you again."
Boberon Battleboar. I'm sorry I never actually caught your name.
It's Magna. You have a really sick name.
Dwarven, what are you gonna do?
Take care.
You as well. Best speed.
Mm-hmm.
Stay ahead of the
Thank
howling.
you.
And then
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
bust out into the night.
Yeah.
Horses scatter. The 4 distraction horses just go winding off through the town, and you see leaping off the roof of the church are townsfolk with lamps and like farm implements. There's like a swarm of them that were just sitting on the roof of the church
great.
that just like fall off and descend towards the distraction horses that go belting through the town. You tear ass northward away from these, like, they're not making any sounds. They're just like moving with horrible, terrible speed as they try to catch these horses.
And
Don't look
hopefully
back.
they don't.
And in their midst, you see coming out of the shadow of a building across from the church is this humongous, hunched form on 4 legs, the size of one of these buildings, just lunging out at a horse, tearing it across the road and disappearing into some shadows across the town. You see, it's a wolf the size of a VW bus just takes out one of these horses as you tear ass northward.
I think Lulu just squeaks in fear.
I'm just. I stare open mouthed for a second, and then I'm like, nope, nope, out of here.
She doesn't even want to be friends with that thing.
Oh boy.
As you are all pelting on horseback up the road in the middle of the night, I need you all to make animal handling checks.
Oh, golly.
Do these horses give off any light?
Oh, that's a terrible roll. No.
Oh, that sucks. I mean, I guess my
Okay.
shell is still giving off light. Ooh, animal
14.
handling? That is a dirty 20.
Dirty
Nice.
20,
Make up
14.
for the botch earlier.
Even with my +6, I got an 8.
Oh, wowzers. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And Pork Chop is like desperately hanging on to the back of your horse, Lulu. You're sort of sharing the saddle as he's sort of like hanging on like baggage a little bit. Because he couldn't keep up with these horses otherwise.
No,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And he's letting
But I'm
out
small,
low...
I'm a gnome, there's room.
Exactly, yeah. But he's letting out low whining noises as you're moving. Just like...
Oh, honey.
As you're just like pelting through the woods.
I'm
Eventually...
petting him comfortingly.
He appreciates it. Eventually, you clear through a section of woods and make a few twists and turns, and you are fairly certain you've lost all sight of the Nwant.
Okay.
The return, the only sound is the thunderous clatter of hooves on the bricks beneath your horses. As you continue to move through the night, there is just this dread sense of just the Dreadwood is a way creepier place than you had ever thought possible if things like that exist within the wood.
So I think just make full use of these horses, get the hour out of them hauling ass through the woods, and then make camp
Okay.
as originally planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually do have the horses fade from beneath you. You manage to time it out so you don't just go spilling out onto the,
Yeah.
the ground when the horse is just out of existence. You find camp and settle down, and you find what rest you can here in the border of the deep Dreadwood for a hopefully a long rest. And I think it is there that we are going to take our break. And when we come back, we are going to find out what lies on your third day of travel within the Dreadwood.
Oh boy.
Before we break, I would like to thank our sponsors because I just realized that I forgot to do it at the top of the show, and I apologize profusely for that. So as we break, I'd love to thank our patrons and our Twitch supporters who are helping make everything we do here at the Greyhawk channel possible. I would also like to thank Roll20. We are supported by Roll20 here at the Greyhawk channel. All of our games are powered by Roll20, the world's leading virtual tabletop, and now the Greyhawk channel is officially supported by Roll20, which you can try out for free at roll20.net. You can do so with a bunch of awesome RPG maps from our friends over at Heroic Maps, with over 300 maps that you can use and purchase through DriveThruRPG. We are also sponsored by Tabletop Loot. You can go to tabletoploot.com and enter Greyhawk in the coupon code box to get 15% off your next dice order, because if there's one thing you need from escaping silent, horrible villagers, it's the good dice for the job.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd love to tell our patrons and Twitch subscribers that they can get coupon codes over on our Discord page, which there's a link for that. I think it's below us, actually, that you can use over at ruinc.com and Cantrip Candles. In the private section of our Discord, you can find coupon codes there. So thank you so much. We will return in 10 minutes' time, and when we do, you will find what else awaits you here in the Dreadwood. And welcome back to Dreadwood Fairytales. When last we left our heroes, they had escaped by the skin of their horses from a strange Nwot in the middle of the Dreadwood.
Yes.
Yeah.
You find yourselves in the morning, recovering from that terrifying experience, slowly regaining consciousness in the dim light of the Dreadwood that has grown thicker and thicker. The place you found to camp that evening was a low, basically clearing in a bunch of brush that Lulu was able to find. Essentially, you're in a small thicket of brambles, and you found a hollow in the center that you were able to squeeze into. None of you being excessively large, you were able to find your way in there and find some safety during the evening. Your night's rest was a troubled one. The deep-throated howls of some massive wolf echoing through the woods nearby, though it seems to have not found you, as you all find the dawn still alive and not being eaten by a wolf, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Always good.
Did we happen to catch any sign of Crawl?
It's funny you should mention that, because as you awake, there is a low clunk, clunk.
All right, time to get moving. There's
Clunk.
our bud.
Yep. We can eat and walk. Power down a Cliff Bar.
So you start munching on trail rations as you pull yourselves out of the thicket.
Yeah, we just get moving right away. Hi, Crawl.
And
Morning.
probably about 200 feet down the road, using his big old mace now as sort of a walking stick, he's sort of just like trumping up the road, and he'll let out a little wave in the distance.
Long night, bud.
Just shrug, keep on walking
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
slowly,
us too.
methodically.
Like, rub the sleep out of my eyes and...
Yeah.
He'll point towards Merrimack and then give you a thumbs up.
Does a little like salute.
Wave. She's annoyingly a morning person.
I think Merrimack is too. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, if you work on a ship, like, you gotta be up. You gotta be up with the sun, which
true.
is probably hard to do in the forest. But
It's especially
like
hard to do
clockwork at
in
this
this
point.
forest.
yeah,
Because inside that
naturally
thicket,
wakes
you
up.
could actually barely even tell that it was daylight out. It was so dark and close in there. And it's really only Porkchop's natural sense of these things that you're able to... He was able to let you know, there's morning.
Yeah. That's such a good boy.
So, you crawl back out onto the Blood Brick Road, and what do you do?
Hey, Lulu.
Yeah.
What do you say we start the day out right? With
Horses?
some horses, yeah. Yeah,
I can do that.
cool.
Porkchop lets out a low whine.
Oh.
okay, buddy.
It's okay. You're
Should
gonna
give
do
them a
great.
treat.
Porkchop doesn't
I'm
like
gonna-
horses.
I know. I'm gonna cast conjure animals and do the horses, and then I'm also going to. Sorry, I need to check.
It's all good.
Oh no, I can only do it to one creature. I was gonna get a long strider.
Ooh. I mean,
Um,
you could give Longstrider to Porkchop, and then he could keep up with the horses.
Ooh,
That is exactly what I will do. That's a wonderful idea. Yep, I'm gonna give long strider to Porkchop.
Okay.
So let me use up that spell slot.
How long does Longstrider last for?
It lasts for an hour.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So just like the horses.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And if I'm not
So
mistaken,
I pet him comfortingly as I cast the spell on him.
Longstrider triples their movement speed?
It increases
Oh,
by 10 feet.
goodness.
Oh, okay. But still, that puts his movement speed at 40, or at 50, I believe.
Oh, let's see. I do have that somewhere.
So long as you're not, like, pushing the horses at absolute full speed,
He'll be able to keep up.
Porkchop could keep up pretty easily.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. His speed is 40, so it'll be 50. You're right.
Excellent. So yeah, you conjure some horses, you make your dog a bit faster, and you start the day off just cruising away from Krull as he's stumping up the road behind you.
Yep.
It was nice to see him again.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, he's sort of terrifying in a quiet way, but
Lulu doesn't want to do this, but Becca kind of wants to set a trap for him.
Or just send horses to knock him down.
She won't.
so he spins on his little turtle back. Oh, that's horrible.
No, Lulu would not do that.
Yeah.
Becca
No, I
wants
think
to,
I think
but Lulu
Merrimack
won't.
is like, no, like
No.
Okay, Elliot doesn't think we're gonna win this race.
Do it
Merrimack
right.
does, and also is like, no, it's not honorable.
No. Yeah.
You say as you're riding a horse.
Right, I gotcha.
Hey, I asked. There were no rules.
No rules, just right in the Dreadwood.
That's right. We
Got it.
specifically asked if there were rules.
It's true, yeah, and he responded in, if not the negative, then at least the, like, oh, you think this is rules? Nah, kid, this is death race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not honorable, but I am,
And Lulu is.
mostly.
Gotcha.
I'm a privateer, not a pirate.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fair.
So, as you continue up the long road, you make good time today as you start the day off on horses. Once the horses and Longstride fade, you go back to moving on foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for the time being. Don't want to blow all our level 3 spell slots just in case.
Yeah, if I have it left, I'll do it again at the end of the day.
As you're moving, you are the Blood Brick Road is this winding affair. It's all basically moving northward, but it has these long, slight curves to it as it is avoiding something every once in a while. It never goes in a particularly just straight fashion. Whenever you have a good long view of it, it's because it's got this low, gentle curve, like a highway in that way that never seems to go perfectly straight once you get out of the major metropolitan areas. Moving down along that road for the first hour is easy and swift, and there's this strange sense that the world is just blurring past you. You're not really getting a sense of anything that's around you as you're moving down the road at speed. Once you're on your feet, though, you get a much sharper sound to the world around you. The bird song has a sense of menace to it. Occasionally you'll hear birds squawking and fighting with each other somewhere off in the branches. There's like the low sound of crows that is now becoming apparent. As you continue to move, the forest is pretty thick here. I'm sorry, Elliot, you had something to say?
Oh, it was just Merrimack. I think Merrimack comments like it's wild that this place can make you wish for silence.
I think Lulu probably doesn't even notice. Like, I mean, she knows that there's sounds, but like, she's so accustomed to it that it doesn't. It was weirder when there were no sounds, and so she's kind of like, huh?
This place
Like,
gives me the creeps
well-
either way.
Every time we've heard animals, it's because something horrible is about to happen. So far, at least.
Maybe they know where the food is.
And it's around that time, as you begin marching, that you see yet another odd sight here along the Blood Brick Road. A floating bale of hay that is trundling up the path.
From in front of us, right?
Yes, you're
Yeah.
coming up on it.
Okay.
I wave and I say, hey.
And the bale of hay it's moving as though someone is carrying it at about person height, but it's just moving along the road off to the side. And a little ways up the road, you can see that there's another one, and another one, and another one.
I think Lulu would call out, "Hello."
Oh,
There's no response.
okay. Yeah,
At
let's
this point-
just
Merrimack is just good to just keep walking.
I think at this point Magna
Just-
has just accepted the weirdness.
Yeah, right? Like, if it's not gonna murder me, then I'm just gonna keep walking. Put one foot in
Yeah.
front of the other.
Okay.
Can if we're gonna pass it, can Lulu she wants to move her hand under it to see if there's a physical thing there.
There doesn't seem to be.
Weird. Okay.
Okay. Well, cool.
Huh.
After about an hour, you pass this line of strange straw bundles being carried up the road, and there's maybe 10 of them. And after you move a few more miles and lose sight of those bundles, you'll come along to a small clearing off to the side of the road. It doesn't straddle the road, it's off to the side, and you see what looks like a small encampment of some kind with
Do
little
we
pieces of fortification being made.
see any people?
You do not see any people.
Any movement?
There is movement. You'll see occasionally a large load of stone will be just rising up into the air and moving over to another section and being placed down. And you'll see weird movements of vines kind of creeping across the ground, leaving bare ground in its wake and boiling up into a strange stick-like construction.
Is there a tree nearby?
There's lots of trees nearby.
Yeah, I mean, okay, sorry, that was a dumb question. We're in a fucking forest. What's the closest tree, between us and the encampment?
Yeah, there's a large oak tree between you and the encampment off to the side. Though once you have view of the encampment, you're on the road, so you're sort of exposed. If anyone was going to see you, they'd have seen you by now.
Oh, okay. I am gonna talk to a tree.
Okay. So you use the pendant given to you by Father Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming then you attune to it at some point, because it does require
Yes.
attunement to use. So I'll just say you did that during the evening.
Yeah.
So you clutch the pendant and ask to speak to the trees, and the pendant will glow a dull green, and you can feel this weird flutteryness in your throat, and the nearby tree will kind of creak in response.
Hey, do you know about what's going on with the floating stuff?
It's the pigs. Their idiotic contest. Waste of time. They're just meat.
A building contest?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does seem pretty silly.
What are they building? Can you ask?
Yeah, what exactly are they building?
Houses.
Why are they building them?
So the wolf doesn't get them.
We do hate that wolf, don't we?
I do hate that wolf.
Big
mean-
bad wolf.
It's got
Yeah.
a nice ring to it.
They'd probably be better off with bricks.
Yeah, I don't know if hay is a great building material. Just a hunch.
Where are the pigs? Are they
Yeah.
invisible?
Do you move towards the encampment?
Oh, I was asking the tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the tree? He'll say, they're over there.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Yup.
I give the tree a Dale Cooper thumbs up.
Lulu waves.
The tree does not respond. It is a tree.
It's a tree.
It's a tree.
Just wanted it to know that we appreciate the help.
As you move towards the encampment, you do in fact see 3 pigs. One is like a low potbelly pig. One is like a large kind of farm pig, and the other is this huge boar.
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Hello?
And the pigs will turn. You can see that the little potbelly pig has, or each of the pigs has like little curlicue tails, and on each of their tails is some kind of metallic ring that is glowing slightly. And they'll turn towards you, and the boar will just get this shocked expression on its face as it sees Lulu and Merrimack. And it will let out a, "No, not you two again!"
You!
Wait.
You!
Are you?
That's
Is it,
you
is it
jerk!
dirt?
And Mr. Dirt in boar form will like look around panicked.
You know this guy?
He's gonna eat me.
Yeah, I
And-
rescued her.
Oh, is this the guy who was in the tree?
Yeah.
yeah.
No, he was super cooked and dead. Last you saw
Oh
him.
yeah. That was
We
the goat man.
Baconated him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Huh.
he's probably not happy to see us.
And he'll turn towards his 2 companions and says, "Mud, Dust, these are the 2 I was telling you about. Get them!"
No, we don't. We're not here to fight.
No,
And
no,
the
no,
other
no,
2
no.
pigs will like get real defensive and angry and sort of like budge up in front of their brother.
As
Hey.
Magna says, we're not here to fight. Merrimack says, if you want to fight, I'll fight.
No.
No.
We're cool. Everybody's cool. We're
Yeah.
all really chill.
Give me
What's
a
up?
persuasion roll.
Oh no. 14.
Okay. The 2 pigs in the front are sort of exchanging quizzical glances, and the
yeah,
boar
we're
in the
great.
back is
Everything-
just like, "No, those 2 just fucking cooked me. We're not cool."
I didn't cook anybody. Hey, everything's great.
I was just trying to defend myself and, my friend.
Hey, you guys
were
got any?
gonna eat me.
You guys got any stuff for like trade or anything?
And the
Food, maybe?
3 of them are looking at you, and you can see that the ring on the back of Mr. Dirt's tail was beginning to glow, and you can see this huge pallet of stone being lifted up into the air nearby. The ring on the large farm pig's tail is beginning to glow, and the twigs and branches behind him are beginning to like slowly climb together to build some kind of large structure of some kind. You're not quite sure what it is quite yet.
Listen, guys, it's been a real bad week for me. I'm not looking to fight some piggies right now, okay? Just like, can we take like 5 to 10% off the top, please?
And you can see the little list, the potbelly pig will kind of like squirt forward and say, look, no one needs to die, all right, come on.
Yeah, exactly, totally, great. This one's reasonable.
I'm with you.
And he will like stand back up on his hind legs, which is very disconcerting for this pig-shaped thing, and will just like put his little hoovy hands forward and was like, just calm it down, all right.
I'm calm, yeah.
You
totally.
calm? I'm calm.
Great.
Calm.
And
Hey, so
Mr.
what's this contest about?
Mr. Dirt will say, I'm not calm. They killed me.
Yeah, but you're alive
Wait,
now,
you're-
so what's the big deal, bro?
Yeah.
The big deal, bro, is that dying isn't
I'm not-
nice.
No, it's pretty
Yeah,
bad, I
it's
agree.
not,
So
especially when someone kills you to try to eat you.
so let's not do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Water under the bridge,
Yeah.
whatever.
And the middle pig will say, now there's a troll under the bridge.
And not anymore. We kicked his ass.
And they'll kind of like exchange looks with each other. And Mr. Dirt will say, You beat Rumbletusk?
Yeah, it was super easy.
Oh, okay. Like look around. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Well then. And then like the bricks will slowly lower, and the sticks will slowly shamble back down, and
Okay,
the
so
what you didn't notice was that like a series of 10 tree branches had looking like they were just being carried by invisible people had floated out of the forest and being held like weapons nearby.
so hey everybody, my name's Magna. What's up?
And they kind of like look at each other,
Making houses?
and the little pot-bellied pig says, "Hi, I'm Mud.
Okay. Good to meet you, Mud.
This here's my brother Dust and my other brother Dirt.
Okay. It's good to meet you all.
And yeah, we're building houses. Why?
All right. Uh, what for? The big bad wolf?
Yeah, took over that weird pink-skinned town a little ways back.
Yeah, that thing sucks. We saw it eat a horse.
Oh, just one?
And,
That we saw.
I mean, yeah, it could have been more.
Probably more.
Hmm.
I kind of covered my eyes a little.
Yeah, but it was like a whole ass horse. That was really gross stuff.
And Mr. Dust will say, I'm surprised he just ate the ass of the horse.
Yeah, me too. It was.
And Mr. Dirt will shake his head and says, No, it's an expression. It's the whole ass horse. It's a bad horse. It was an ass. It's like a donkey.
Yeah, close enough. No judgy either way. I'm sorry. I've never talked to pigs before, so this is a little weird.
And Mud, the little piglet, will give a little piggy shrug and say, Well, I've never talked to a human before, so...
Half elf. Half right.
Eh. Y'all look the same to me.
Yeah.
Okay, just build one house that's big enough for all of you to live in and you won't get killed. Okay, problem solved. Let's go.
We saw brick work really well.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's just based on personal experience. I think the rock is probably gonna. Yeah.
And they're all like looking at each other and like, yeah, well, combine. Yeah. That's not what the merchant said. Yeah, no, he said build the separate ones. Yeah.
Probably to sell you more stuff.
Yeah.
And they all just look at each other and are like, rot bastard.
Sorry.
Well, you could use the rock for like the foundation and the walls, reinforce it with some wood bars,
Yeah.
and
Hay makes a pretty good binding agent when combined with mud.
that's true. Yeah, some bricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you give the three pigs architectural advice?
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, they're suddenly coming to the realization that like Mr. Dust is saying like, oh, that right bastard, he swindled us.
That's okay.
There's
It
a
happens to the best of us.
There's a merchant here. I mean, I guess there was a town.
And Mr. Dirt was like, oh, no, wasn't in the town, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just mean,
Everyone there's not a person anymore.
right. But like, I mean, is there
Where?
another town?
And they'll kind of look at each other and like, no, just a, I don't know, shop showed up not for long ago, just down the road a ways. When I was brought back from the dead, I made my way back to my brother's, and
It's fine now.
he'll like look around and it's like, I don't have thumbs now.
Yeah, but you're alive and still clearly capable of taking care of yourself. You've got this lovely house that you're working on together,
The
Try
little
to turn this into a
potbelly
win.
pig will like rub shoulders with its older brother and be like,
Aw.
it's all fine now, come on. Granny gave you a second chance, you can work your way back up. And Mr. Dirt will say, I had thumbs.
Yeah. Thumbs are pretty sweet, not gonna lie. But good luck with the house. Have a wonderful day.
Sorry about the thumbs.
Yeah, well. Kidnap enough mortals, I'll get my thumbs back, don't worry.
Please don't.
Why?
It's not nice.
Oh, really? It's not what the hag said.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you can always trust a hag.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
Who says that?
Everybody
Yeah.
here.
Does anyone... I look at Merrimack. Does anybody say that?
Nobody says that.
I've
Hags
never
say
heard.
that.
Yeah.
The hags say it a lot, so I'm assuming forest hags do too.
Yeah.
A cold
I guess.
wind blows past your legs, sending goose flesh up your skin, and a voice says, everyone can trust a hag.
That
I don't-
voice? Probably a hag, if it's saying that.
I don't feel very reassured by that. Yeah.
And all
No, I
the
feel less trusting of hags.
pigs
now.
are nodding along like, yep, that's what they say. See, that's what they say.
Yeah, that was a hag, though.
Yeah. No.
And they'll like look at you and be like, no, that was
A hag is...
the wind.
A,
The wind
a
was saying
hag
that.
is gonna... No, guys, check this out. Like, a hag is gonna tell you that you can trust a hag because a hag wants you to trust a hag because a hag wants something out of you, right? Like,
Give me another persuasion roll.
come on, baby. 11.
Ooh.
It's just like straight over their heads.
Yeah.
They're staring at you
Yeah.
blankly,
Okay. Well,
and they're like,
thank you so much for your hospitality.
they're kind of like nodding. It's like, Mr. Mudd will say, look, you come back when the house is done now. We could show you true hospitality now, right now. Now, we're a little bit still under construction, as it were.
Are we cool, or are you gonna try to kidnap us because we're mortals and a hag told you to?
No? And he'll look over to Mr. Dust, and Dust will say, no? And look over to Dirt, and Dirt will give a shrug, and it's like, you ain't babies. I only kidnap babies.
I'm not a bit.
That's gross.
Yeah. Worse. That's way worse.
Okay, well, we'll put a pin in this and come back. I really don't want to kill you.
Maybe don't kidnap babies.
And Dirt will just look at you and go, why?
Yeah. This.
I feel like
This
we're
is,
going in
we've been
circles.
We've been here before. Yeah. No.
All right, bye, everybody.
Yeah.
You leave?
Mr. Dirt, try
Yeah,
to not get
let's just-
killed by that wolf. I might have to kick your ass later, so.
And Dirt will just look at you and it's like, bring it on. I got my brothers with me now.
But no thumbs.
And he'll just shoot you a really dirty look.
Don't taunt the piggies. Come
High five,
on.
Lulu.
High-fiving with your hands. Like, look at me, I've got hands.
Yeah, so I guess we just ease on down the road.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving away, you hear the pigs now beginning to put their heads together. It's like, put all of the material in the same house. Why didn't we think of that?
You dumb pigs. Out of character note, I love pigs. But they are kind of dumb.
Moving and continuing on down the road, you eventually come to a bit of a straighter path. The road is narrowing slightly. It's now only about 10 feet wide, but it seems to be going straight for at least a little ways. The forest around you is still oppressive and thick, but occasionally you'll see breaks in the trees for long stretches of time, not in necessarily exposed to the sky, but there will be less trees and more underbrush in certain places. And I need you all to give me perception checks.
Okay.
Ugh,
That is a 20.
13.
Sorry, that is a 17.
17, 14,
Mixed up my perception and persuasion.
25.
25. Wow.
I actually rolled a 19.
Holy
Very
shit.
good. Lulu, as you're moving, you begin to see the strange lights flicker past every once in a while. Be a bright green, bright blue, bright red, just off between the trees.
Do you guys see those lights going?
See what, huh?
Eh?
There's lights. There's different colors.
Now that they've been pointed out, do I notice them?
No.
No, I don't.
And as soon as you try to point them out, Lulu, you don't see them anymore.
Oh no.
Did they look dangerous?
Does Lulu feel like they looked dangerous?
I mean, it's tough to tell what's dangerous here anymore.
That's fair.
That's-
Yeah, everything seems kind of dangerous here.
Yeah.
And they're just gone. There's no
Yeah.
sign of them anymore.
Hmm.
Well, there were definitely lights. I promise. I saw them.
Did they go off? Did they go off into the woods?
They were moving around in the woods.
Oh yeah, probably like they exist. They look pretty excellent. Good for them.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye out and
Yeah.
Maybe avoid those. Maybe.
Just stay on the path.
maybe they're cool. I hope so, but
We're not gonna unless they
know.
come on the road. We're not gonna find out because I'm not leaving this thing.
I mean, I'm pretty curious, but
I've learned anything so far, it is that the woods are as treacherous as the ocean can be. And if you're on a sure line, do not stray from it.
just out of curiosity's sake, because she totally would,
Mm-hmm.
can Lulu cast Minor Illusion to make, like, to try and copy what she saw with the lights and kind of like zoom hers off in the direction that she saw the other ones go?
Sure. When you do, there is a moment of you creating this illusion off in the distance, and you all watch this happen as a bright red light will exactly straight through your light and dissipate the illusion.
And we all saw it this time?
Yes.
huh.
Bad.
Yeah,
Like a siren in the sea.
Divine sense. I guess I'm gonna look for Fae because this seems like some weird Fae shit.
There are fae all around you. You sense dozens and dozens of fae signatures around you in the woods just off the road.
We're up to our butts in Fae right now, just so everybody's aware.
You know?
Yeah,
got it.
pixies maybe. It's hard to tell.
I mean, pixies sound adorable.
Let's just keep moving and see if they want anything. If they do, they'll approach.
Fair enough.
Moving forward, you are continuing down the straight section of the road, and in the distance, you'll hear an angry chattering sound.
In the distance ahead of us?
Yes. Not that
Okay.
far. It becomes very obvious. There's this, like...
Do we see anything yet?
There is a small break in the wilderness. Like I said, the trees have... the undergrowth has become less thick, so now you can start seeing just low earth that is full of loamy branches and leaves that have fallen from the trees, but otherwise it's just empty below the trees.
So, because of her speech of the woods, Lulu can decipher like noises from beasts.
Yes.
Does this sound like you say chattering? Can she understand what they're saying?
No, and that's very weird. give me an insight check.
Is it Sylvan by any chance?
No, it is not.
Okay.
So I rolled a 13. Give me a sec. Insight is +6, so 19.
19. That's very good.
Damn.
It sounds like what it would sound like if a small woodland creature was attempting to make people sounds. It's like a squirrel that doesn't know how to speak squirrel. They only know how to speak people. And they're trying to make people sounds, but that's not the sound squirrels make.
There's something really weird about this sound, y'all. I think it's like some maybe like a person has been turned into a squirrel or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
It's kind of
I
what
can't.
it sounds like. It's not regular squirrel speak.
Okay. Well, if I get out of here, I should write a book. just gotta jot down all these weird things that keep happening.
I'm getting so many ideas for fairy tales.
Coming up the road, you see that on the side there is a really angry squirrel at the base of a tree, just like shaking its little squirrely fist up at this tree. And in the branches of that tree, you see a very strange sight. There is a black and white monkey dancing about the branches, moving back and forth, avoiding arrow fire from several tiny creatures that look like miniature humanoids with dragonfly wings and tiny little short bows, and they're firing strafing arrows at this monkey who's just dancing around trying to get out of the way. And meanwhile, this squirrel that does not sound like a squirrel is just shaking its fist up at this tree.
I've never seen a monkey before.
You have seen a monkey before. You would have come from areas
Yeah.
where, like a tropical island that would have monkeys.
But it's weird to see a monkey here.
Oh, here it's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I guess that Lulu has seen a monkey before as well? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
No? Okay.
At least once. You've traveled all over the place in terms of different forests and stuff. You'd be aware of monkeys and apes. And this is definitely a small black and white capuchin.
Got it.
Hey,
Capuchin.
was there a monkey?
Okay, so something's going on here that we need to parse. Oh man, I wish I had a.
And it looks like there are about 6 of these weird fairy-like creatures zipping around this tree, just shooting little dart-like arrows at this monkey who's just dancing around trying to dodge.
Is the monkey holding anything?
Doesn't look like it.
I'm gonna summon my packed weapon and I'm gonna start like shooing at the little creatures with it.
They're about 20 feet up.
Oh, well, I'll activate my boots.
Okay.
Hey, Lulu, can you talk to this squirrel?
I can try, but it's not.
The squirrel will see you approach and like turn, and its paws will raise and go.
Did the monkey take something from you?
And it'll like shake its little squirrel head with these like long squirrel features, and it looks like kind of like patchy in certain places along its fur. It's
Is the monkey your friend?
and it'll shake its squirrel head and go make a waving motion with its hand.
All right, all right.
Are you really a squirrel? And is that really a monkey?
As far as you know, okay. The pixies up there. What's their deal? Are they? Did they? They're trying to kill you. Why? Oh, that's too specific.
That's so you should.
Uh, did they turn you into a squirrel?
Possible.
Hey!
Oh no.
And all the pixies just like swarming around suddenly orient towards Magna.
What the fuck?
And one of them, do you speak Sylvan?
I do speak Sylvan.
Okay.
I said that in Sylvan,
Yeah.
actually.
Nice.
I should have
Excellent.
Oh, I
specified.
speak Sylvan as well.
Oh. Well, then in a language that most of you can understand, they will shout, "Outsiders!"
Oh no.
Yeah. Why'd you turn that guy into a squirrel or girl? I don't know.
And they will open fire on you.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, I'm gonna hurt you now. I take out my longsword.
Okay. Give me initiative rolls.
15.
15.
I also got a 15.
9.
Who has the higher dex of the two of you?
Probably Merrimack.
It's a +1.
Yeah, mine is a 0.
Oh, okay.
Where are the pixies going? Pixies are going low.
Let me see.
So, Merrimack, you are up first. There are 6 of these sprites flitting about. They are all armed with short
Oh.
bows.
All right. How many? Well, I'm gonna attack with my weapon.
Okay. You zip up and attack one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Can I only get one in a swing?
Yeah. It's not like a swarm of them. There are 6 individual.
Okay. Oh, that was almost a 19.
Like, they're the size of like pigeons, I would probably equate them to.
Okay. Okay.
They're not minuscule.
15.
15 is exactly what you need.
Oh, perfect. I was gonna say, oh god, they're small. Their AC is probably really high. Oh my god, how do I damage? That is 5 damage.
And it is just absolutely obliterated as this huge blade is just cleaves through this tiny body,
Yep.
and little dragonfly wings begin spinning through the air as it's just annihilated.
1 down, thirsting blade.
As you move to the next one.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's only a 13.
13 will not hit.
And then Polearm Master.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to try to bang one of them. That is I rolled a 16, so that's probably gonna do it. It's a 21.
That'll hit.
1d4. 4 damage.
And like a line drive, you whack this other pixie, and it goes straight through the woods, hits a tree, and just splatters up against it.
Who's next?
The pixies are just stunned by this rush of violence. That brings us to Magna.
I'd like to sort of parse the situation and get a feel for which one of these pixies is in charge.
It's really tough to say. Give me a... What would this be? Insight check?
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. What is my insight modifier? That is going to be a 3. Botch.
Oh. They're clearly an autonomous collective that works up on a hive mind, probably. That's what you think.
Okay. This seems legit. I just pick one at random, and I will, in Sylvan, say the word revert as I point to the squirrel and cast command.
Ooh.
Very nice, very nice. Okay.
Nice. Good choice of word.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I try to get creative with command. I love it.
They need to make
Good.
some kind of saving throw.
They do. They need to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. That
Unless
is...
they're undead, in which case they resist.
No, they're very much not undead. That is a solid 11.
That's a 14 you gotta make, so...
So when you say revert, let's see. There are 4 of them left. Okay. It will turn, aim its bow at another pixie, and it looks like it's going to fire next turn, and you can see which one it's aiming at.
Okay, cool.
That will
And
bring
that's my
us,
turn.
yeah, to Lulu.
So Magna told him to spurt and they look like they're going to attack each other?
It looks like this particular one is going to attack another sprite.
Okay. I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the squirrel.
Okay, excellent.
Oh. Dang.
Let's see. Yeah, it just, if I'm not mistaken, I think this just works. I'm trying to remember what level spell Polymorph is. It's actually fourth. So you need to make
So
a
they need to
make a check. Yes.
Okay, so I rolled a 10. What kind of check is it?
It is just add your wisdom modifier, I believe.
Okay, so
You need to make a spellcasting ability check. Yes.
okay, 13.
So 13 is just under what you need to dispel the magic. You feel the polymorph is still holding strong. You moving at all? Staying where you are?
I'm gonna stay where I am, but I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast the bear spirit totem. Nope, I'm gonna do the hawk spirit totem.
Okay.
So I create this incorporeal spirit. It creates an aura in a 30-foot radius. I'm gonna make it so it's around all 3 of our party if I can.
Mm-hmm.
If a creature makes an attack versus a target in the aura, I can use my reaction to grant advantage to the attack.
Awesome. Okay.
And
so
everyone in the aura I choose has advantage on wisdom checks.
that's very good.
Yeah.
There is a raptor flare as the spirit appears. What does your hawk spirit look like?
It's green and sparkly like most of her magic. It's probably like bigger than a regular hawk.
Okay.
Like it's huge.
All right.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, and when it appears, it lets out a craw.
Yeah.
All right, that will bring us to the sprites. First, let's see how that one does against its comrade. Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Should I even bother rolling?
Did it crit?
Yeah, it did.
Oh my god.
Okay, so yeah, it just lets loose and just dead center of the other sprite's forehead, and it just boots up, head down, straight to the ground, arrow in its forehead, and as soon as it's dead, there's a poof of green magic, and the squirrel suddenly transforms. The other 2 sprites are going to open fire on Merrimack. Let's see. One of them rolled a 16 to hit.
Yep, they actually have a much better AC than I do.
And the other one rolled a
I just
21, so they both hit.
Yeah. those are
Oh,
both
golly.
Okay, so you take a whopping 2 piercing damage from both attacks,
bad. Ow.
but
Ow.
you do need to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
That's what I like about playing a sorcerer. They get advantage on make a proficiency with that one.
It's true.
It's a 7.
Are you adding the +3?
Oh, I did not. So it's a 10.
That's very good.
And that one is an 11. No, it's a 9.
9
It
is
was a 6.
not so good.
No.
So you are now poisoned. You feel this like sickening, just creeping venom leaching through your blood as this needle-like arrow pierces you. You're just like, oh, suddenly feeling very... do you know what the second condition does?
I can find out fairly quickly.
Okay. Well, it basically gives you disadvantage on a whole bunch of stuff. So that...
Is it poisoned?
Yes.
Yeah. Disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. Cool.
Speaking of which...
At least your wisdom checks are good.
The human who is now standing in your midst will glance around and then go diving for a bush. That is his turn.
Fair.
And that will bring us to Merrimack.
All right. I'm going to attack.
There are 3 of them left, one of which is looking horrified at its own actions.
Well, maybe it shouldn't have existed. That is only a 12.
12 will not hit.
Thirsting Blade. Nope. And Polearm Master.
Come on.
Nope.
If she has disadvantage, but I can also give
Oh,
her
that's
advantage,
right.
Oh.
how would that work?
It would cancel out to a normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it too late for me to say that now that she's rolled?
Yeah.
Well, you specified it before.
I would
Does it
have
just
to take.
automatically happen?
No, I
No.
have to take my reaction.
The highest, like I will say, even the highest rolls,
Still.
the only one that would have hit is one of them.
I see.
I will say I will allow you to re-roll the last attack, so the butt
Okay,
polearm.
the butt one.
If Becca wants to spend her reaction to let you do that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So this is just a straight roll then.
And I still have the Magnus +3.
That's for saves.
Or the
Yeah.
For what?
That's for saves.
Oh, that's right. And the hawk one is for wisdom only.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's still not gonna hit.
Okay.
It was worth a try.
Okay. So you're still zipping around up there. Are you staying where you are, just amidst the sprites?
Feeling a little woozy, so I should probably go back down to the ground.
Do you go to land?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That brings us to Magna.
Okay, I'm gonna make 2 long sword attacks. Let's see how this goes.
They are up in the air. This would be very difficult to do.
Okay, I'll make a javelin attack.
Okay.
That was not very good, though. Okay. Oh, God. Oh. I'll roll with a different one.
We have mastered the art of disaster rolling here on the show.
What was it, 15?
15 is exactly what you need.
Okay, I'm using the new javelin that I found.
Okay, you still don't know what this does.
Nope, no idea.
Cool.
Let's find out.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I'm glad I decided to land.
Yeah. Okay, so you throw the javelin and it hits. It is, as of right now, it just functions as a normal javelin.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you don't know what it does.
Shoot.
And it requires a command word to activate, so. So
Shoot.
give me javelin damage.
Okay,
Maybe
javelin
we'll find out
damage.
Maybe.
No. Okay. $11.
11. Okay, just another sprite just destroyed as this javelin just passes through its entire body. Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna stay close to the other 2 to make sure they're getting my save from my snuggle zone.
Okay. That will bring us to Lulu. There are 2 sprites left above you.
How far away are they?
They are about 25 feet up.
Oh, crumbs. Okay. Let's see. Are they humanoid?
No, they are very much fey.
So, sorry, give me a sec. That kind of
It's all good.
knocks out the things I was thinking. I think I'm gonna go with the my favorite moonbeam.
Okay. So the moonbeam's going to come streaking out of the sky. And they need to make... I'll say they're both within... Because it's a 5-foot radius.
It is a 5-foot radius.
Okay, I'll say they're within
40 feet high.
Yeah, they're within 10 feet of each other, so they'll both be caught in this. Oh boy, they need to make Constitution saving throws.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, because tiny sprites are great at that.
Oh yeah. The DC is 14.
Well, the highest roll I got was a 10, and when it's the modified with a +0, that still makes it 10.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are flash fried in the air. It's that classic Dragon Ball Z moment where the light just consumes them and the body slowly vanishes within the light.
Nice.
And as you do that, there are no more sprites visible, other than the splattered remains of the ones that Merrimack took out.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
As you are patting yourselves off and like looking around and collecting what thrown weapons you tossed around, Merrimack still feeling a little queasy, and
Yeah, using my weapon to like lean on like a
well,
stick.
it seems like it's already beginning to pass. And as you glance around, a bald head with sharp features will poke itself up out of the bush where it leapt and like look around. Some wicked eyebrows, almost Dune-esque, will like cock around, and this person will say, "Are they gone?"
Yeah, man.
I think
Uh,
so. I think we got him.
And
I'm
Alexander? And he'll look up into the trees, and the little monkey will poke its head out from around a big branch and wave a little bit, and the guy will go, "Whew, close one."
Hey,
What happened?
Oh, just some disagreements on what qualifies as an acceptable return period.
you'll be the merchant then.
Ah, my reputation precedes me.
It certainly does.
Greetings.
Yeah, we met the pigs.
And he'll like brush himself off and pull himself out of this shrub, and you can see now that he's got this like tan leathery skin that is just like sun-baked and dark. He's got these hawkish features. It seems as though he's beat male pattern baldness to the punch by just shaving his head. He is wearing what may have once been a gi of some kind of ceremonial dress of some kind, but has long since gone to faded tatters. He's clearly ripped the sleeves off, so his wiry arms are exposed. The pants are cut off just below the knee to reveal skinny shins that end in sandaled feet. And he will say, "Greetings, my friends. Hello, hello. My name is Omatep Duskwalker, owner and proprietor of Duskwalker Import and Export TM. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
Hi, I'm Magna.
I'm Lulu.
Merrimack.
I have a feeling this is the beginning of a fine, wonderful relationship, my friends. Come, come, I will show you to my shop. Let's get away from... And he'll look over at some squashed sprites. All of this mess. And I think it is there that we are going to end today's episode of Dreadwood Fairytales, as you've all made a new friend
Oh, finally.
in this
Friend.
strange place. Yeah, clearly this guy has the best intentions.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
He's very trustworthy.
Very trustworthy indeed. So, as we end, of course, I'd like to thank our wonderful patrons and subscribers here on Twitch who make all of this possible here at the Greyhawk channel. Please feel free to check our scheduling, which is down below, I believe. I think so. I'm almost sure. I'll double check on that. To see all the sorts of shows that are here on the Greyhawk channel. There's even one later today, I believe. But every day of the week, we provide the best in Greyhawk-based entertainment where Dungeons & Dragons and other games are concerned. So, thank you so much for watching the show and supporting us here. And also, please check out our Discord. The link is, again, below us, I believe, where you can chat with all sorts of people about all things Dungeons & Dragons or Greyhawk or whatever you'd like. Any of our fine players have anything to plug?
At Affect Not Effect on Twitter, you can find my handle in all the links for this stream.
I'm at Dread Pirate Bex on Twitter, and I am the DM for the actual play podcast, The Dice Girls. We are kind of bumbling our way through figuring out how to play D&D together. So it's a lot of fun. You can find us at The Dice Girls.
You can find me on Twitter at Elliot C. Lewis, and you can also find me playing another character over on the actual play podcast Material Components. We are at MattComRPG on Twitter. And those of you who have listened to MattCom, this seems oddly familiar to you.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Because, of course, you
No.
can find me on Twitter at MKGorgoni. I always love discussing possible crossovers with my other campaigns. Who would do such a thing? And
Never.
strangely enough, I think you can follow our new friend here on Twitter as well, at NPC_AN, where he is constantly talking about Duskwalker Import and Export TM and all of the values contained therein. And if you are listening to this on the day it comes out or the day after, there is actually a giveaway happening on that Twitter account. If you follow and like and comment on a specific post about that giveaway after before the weekend is up, you could be entered to win a copy of Legendary Dragons, a book from the good folks over at Jetpack 7 who produce awesome D&D content. Not to plug them on the stream too much. But yes, I think that is going to do it for us here at Dreadwood Fairytales. Again, thank you so much, everyone who is watching, listening, and everything in between. I think I'm going to stick with the closer we got last time, which is be excellent to each other.
Good one.
Bye.
Party on, dudes.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.